Hello there gamers, and today we've got something a little bit lower octane of a run. We are going to go through rest running and how I do my rest runs. I don't necessarily know how many people know about doing it this way. It's shorter, it saves you some time, and it's less faff. But why do we do rest runs in the first place? Now, some of this is I can't be bothered to do a full run for dailies or for the Grand Slam battles where you have to do multiple runs. You don't necessarily want to do a full run, you might not have the time for it, so first and foremost it saves time. Then it's also a nice little way to boost bond, so here you've got 4 out of 50, the bond for our Serenity. Raising that bond, it's not the best way to do it, but it helps, especially when you've got sort of the double or triple bond events whenever they happen. It's also no accident that we're currently sat on a page full of pixies, because this was actually useful for me in getting my 2 6-star parents. It doesn't guarantee that you're going to pass down great noble secrets, but it does increase the likelihood. I spent, I think it was 96 pixies trying to get 5-star secrets, and then once I got 2 5-star secrets, the next one I did, I got a 6-star. Now obviously some of that is just pot luck, but I think it took me 3 or 4 to get another 6-star, and that felt like too much of a coincidence. Then, as we come to this screen, it says at the top, and it's quite obvious, levelling up things. This is actually pretty useful for taking your low level cards and giving them a boost. Again, this isn't going to replace you levelling them up normally, but if you're doing it anyway, you may as well give yourself an additional use of sort of your energy, your effort. Ultimately, yes, this is going to cost AP. If you've been playing any amount of time, you probably already have far too many AP potions to use. And as we're going through here, you'll see what we're looking to do, and just generally how quick this is. Speeding through, and it's pretty simple. Now, the reason I should really refer to it as a play run, but that just sounds a bit weird, because I will generally play down to the fact that another use of this, although I wouldn't really recommend it for this, is that you could just do these quick runs to earn points. And in order to maximise that, you want to be picking the right hand side of events and doing rests, because resting increases your loyalty, which increases your score. Again though, this isn't really what you're doing this for. It's quite helpful for new players as well, if you just want to have some monsters out there and start levelling them up. You could do a rest run and just throw them in an expedition. It's not ideal, you'd like to have a better monster in there, but it's always quite a good idea. Another thing that you could do is raise 5 of them very quickly. You've just pulled a new monster, throw them all into expeditions. Now we're going to skip this and we're going to lose. Goodbye. Plant, you can win. And the reason that we want to do that is because it makes the campaign substantially shorter. There we go. So we've acquired our loss. Oh no, we have lost. And now by this point, we're going to have the annoying bit. Because we have to tap through every single one of these. You should do the final tournament. You should do the final tournament. It's doing this because if you don't win this debut cup, or the unwinning cup, it just ends The campaign just ends. Oh. There you go. An insight into how low my phone's battery is. But it gives you an idea here of just how quick these runs actually are. Obviously, you are not going to have this become the thing that you do constantly. But for these certain little situations, they can end up being quite useful. If you have the time to kill, you could, perchance, maybe set up some sort of macro for it. I cannot advise you doing that because you've got lots of additional little button presses in order to do full runs of this. But that's it. That's the run. You've just witnessed the entirety of this run, and it gives you a real idea of how quickly you can churn through these. We'll see what the secrets end up being like. You can spend the points if you want. I just do because ultimately another thing that this ends up being used for is getting little amounts of coins and books. Because you can just sack the monsters off. So there we go. Now it's only 2-star. It's not great. Small amount of books. 400 coins is nothing to sneeze at, especially for a new player, because of how infrequently you're going to be accruing these coins and how quickly you're going to spend through them. So when you think about it, you know, we go back and we look now at this. You've got 400 coins, you've got a monster you could turn into books, you earned 40 books, you would have earned 100 bond towards that monster. You have also had the chance of potentially rolling a monster with good secrets. We didn't, but potentially. And you can see that some of these cards have leveled up, meaning you don't have to spend as much on it from a resource standpoint. Gives you an idea with regards to these runs and what you can do with them, and hopefully for some of you that will be helpful. I don't know how many people know about cutting 2/3 of the run out of the rest run, so if it's useful, let me know. If not, well, no harm, no foul. And with that said, I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time.